My name is India, and welcome to my channel. This is a kind of touching base slash introduction slash getting my ducks in a row kind of video where I'm going to reflect on what this thing, my YouTube channel, has been, the many purposes it has served, thinking about why it still exists, and kind of my plans and intentions going forward. So we're going to start with an introduction. As I said, my name is India. I am a recent college grad. I went to Lewis and Clark College up in Portland, where I majored in English and double minored in gender studies and theater with a concentration in dance. We're at a very interesting time where I'm currently quarantined because of COVID-19, in case I'm watching this or anyone is watching this from the future. That's where we're at. It's also June and there are protests going on for the past 3 weeks, kind of started because of the murder of George Floyd at the beginning of this month, but in continued response to systemic racism and police brutality and blatant and violent disregard for Black lives. So that's the current situation. Like, that's where we're at. Continuing with the introduction. Like I said, I'm a recent college grad. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I probably am going to go into some kind of teaching or education career. Currently, I'm a live-in nanny for family friends, and I take care of the little kid, which definitely affects what I can do insofar as filming videos and whatnot. So, moving on to what is this channel? This channel has existed for a really long time. I've been watching booktube videos since junior high or high school, and in 2016 or 2017 I really felt the desire to start making videos myself, kind of starting with the booktubeathon, now Reading Rush, was kind of my first attempt at making book content. In the beginning, when I was making book content, I was focused on using this medium to help me practice speaking about books and forming coherent thoughts verbally, because going into college I knew speaking and communication is something that is really nerve-wracking. So I was like, hey, let's just practice it to a camera and see what that does. And it did help a little bit. Then, as I was in college and kind of struggling with mental health, I started doing little, very sporadic vlogs to help me see, like when I was editing through footage, that I was actually going to places and I was actually getting work done and I was actually completing things, and not just feel like I was floating around the place doing nothing. Then I studied abroad in London, and I used this thing to document that experience, which was great. I really like that I'm able to go back and see the footage of the places that I went. Then, this isn't necessarily chronological, but it exists. I am a choreographer, and some of the projects that I've worked on have needed to be videos. They weren't things that had a performance space. So this is also a space where I know I can make creative dance work and put it. And finally, making videos gave me a way not only to practice speaking, but also to practice video editing, which is oddly calming and I kind of enjoy. So those are all the things that, like, reflecting on my YouTube channel exist and are pretty positive, and I think are useful, and that I think are beneficial, that I did for one reason or another, and helped. Going forward, intentions, motivations, thoughts. I want to continue making videos in vein of the things that I've done before, but I would like to more strongly get back to making videos about books, because now that I have graduated, I am under no obligation to talk to anyone about what I'm reading in a coherent manner, which is potentially dangerous. But more like, I liked my English classes because I could listen to what other people were saying about the books that we were reading, and I could sometimes contribute. So I would like to make more videos about books that I'm reading and my thoughts about the books, because oftentimes if I don't say it or if I don't write it down, it just goes away. I think also in the vein of like, wow, I've just graduated, I no longer have this obligation to talk about what I'm reading. We are in quarantine, so I'm not really communicating with people very often verbally. So I would like to create a semblance of continuity in keeping the skills that I've gained through college in speaking. And lastly, I think accountability, ? I think there's something to be said about having an idea and wanting to follow through with it, and personal motivations, etc., but also the way that putting yourself out there, whether in real life, individuals, or invisible social media people, helps us feel that what we want to do is something that we should be doing. I want to be able to hold myself accountable by making actual things, whereas writing lists isn't always the best way to hold myself accountable. Anyway, that was a long, rambling way of saying I have this channel that serves multiple purposes. I would like to continue using this channel in all of the ways that I have been, and be a little bit more consistent about creating content about books. Yes, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. If you watched all of this, I have a feeling it's long, and I'll see you around.